Hello. So in this video, I'm going to talk about the technical aspects of the project and what would be perhaps one of the best takeaways from this video would be how to get started with Fulcro itself. Uh, so let's dive in. So as you can see, uh, let's scroll down a little bit. On the right hand side of my screen is the Fulcro developer guide, which is a very long document. Uh, but basically it's a book. Really, it's a book. So I actually had this printed, and even with a smaller font, it was around 240 pages. So yeah, this is very exhaustive. However, one of the things you might struggle with while getting into Fulcro is that there are not so many full-fledged applications available on GitHub. So that was one of the things which is still lacking. However, if you are into the kind of things, into learning only the fundamentals and then experimenting a lot, then this book is ideal for you. You would definitely learn a lot. So all of this documentation, this book is actually a living documentation, so you can interact with the applications here. And later on, I'll show you more things. But just know this, that this is the canonical source of information about everything in Fulcro. It's either this or you would have to go to Slack. Now, these two are the only channels, really. So this could be taken in a positive way, and this could also be taken in a negative way, because you will get stuck. This is for sure. But if you think about Googling stuff, you're probably not going to get the answer. If you think about uh, finding answers on Stack Overflow, probably not going to help. One of the best ways would be to understand the examples in the book, the concepts in the book. So yeah, that's that about the book. So let's go to the GitHub repository for a while and let's talk about this. So uh, when I started working on the project, it was undergoing a transition from Fulcro 2 to Fulcro 3, and there were some changes, but well, there were mostly additive changes, but there were also breaking changes, as you can probably read here. Uh, So Fulcro 2 and Fulcro 3, they are quite similar, but they're not completely compatible. So all of the repositories which you can find on GitHub, of which there are not so many, but still let's have a look. And this is a very naive search. Mostly, well, probably people are not including the word Fulcro in their description, and I should include you. Oh, now again. Yep. Let's see how many pages turn up. So there are 13 pages, and I assure you most of these are probably in Fulcro 2, but slowly the community is taking up the Fulcro 3 framework library, to be precise. Community is taking up Fulcro 3 and porting older projects, but still I would definitely say the canonical source of reference is the book here. But coming back to the main repository on GitHub, let me talk a little bit about what makes this challenging as compared to other things you might have previously experienced in front end or even back end, but mostly front end programming. Well, in the JavaScript land or TypeScript land, whatever you prefer, there is of course React. This is the first source of truth that we know. Other than this, there is of course GraphQL, there is CSS in JS, there is hmm, well, there is relay, which means collocated queries in the components. and then there is Redux. Recently there is Immer, and then there is well, these are state containers, but after this there is X state library, which is not state management only. It is a finite state automaton library. It uses the concepts from, sorry about that. It uses the concepts from state machines and tries to apply them on user interactions and user modeling user behavior on the front end. Any kind of user interface. It turns out uh, that state machines are really good way to cancel out or avoid the illegal states. So there is a very famous quotation in functional programming circles. The best way to write programs which behave as you expect is to make illegal states unrepresentable, which basically means that if it is obviously wrong, it should be inferable by the computer itself, right? But well, there are a few more things here which I'm probably skipping out on, but I'll mention them as we go along. Again, sorry about that. I think they are in a mood to sing. Uh, yeah. So moving on, let's have a look through the code base a little bit. So this code base mostly consists of Clju's common files. So let me just pause it for a while. Yeah, so coming back, well, I think our friends on the street are a little bit more calm now, so maybe we'll not have more interruptions. But anyways, who knows? Yeah, coming back to the source code, well, there is, as you can see, most of the files in the source code are basically Cljs files, which are files which are common to the JVM platform, which is Clojure, and also the JavaScript platform, which is, well, JavaScript, browser, Node.js, whatever. So this is one of the ways that Clojure defines an abstraction over the platform it runs upon. So let me show you a reader conditional, which basically means that if it is read by Node.js or in the browser environment, it would behave in the sense of Clojure script. But if it is read by Clojure, it would behave as Clojure normal is supposed to behave on JVM. So in this file, there is no reader conditional, but perhaps we should go to algorithms, and then there is the code base is not very vast for sure. The code base is dense. This is what I would say. So yeah, let's open up scheduling. Let's see what's here. And you can see that this line, this is a reader conditional, which means that if it is running in a Clojure script environment, then read this and skip the next form basically until this part, because it is only supposed to be read by Clojure environment. So this is how you can use a lot of the libraries, the same libraries on the front end and the back end. Yeah, so which also means that you would have to have a good command on the front end and the back end at the same time. You can't just make your way through one of the things. Anyways, let's also have a look at the Cljs files, which is completely front end or Node.js oriented, JavaScript oriented. So here there is Google Clojure compiler. Yeah, so I forgot to mention this one. It by default relies on Google Clojure compiler, which does tree shaking / dead code elimination by default, and it also offers a wonderful standard libraries. You could watch other videos on this channel. I've touched upon this topic quite a few times. So yeah, moving back. So the project is, as I said, the source code is easy, but the project is very dense, because it will take many of the concepts that you are aware about in perhaps JavaScript, and it will give them a Clojure flavor and you know combine it all together in such a way that you can't really understand one part of the system and get your way along and get going. It's probably not going to happen, so you would have to invest a lot of time understanding how these pieces fit together. It took me a lot of time personally, but hopefully throughout the series we'll get pointers. uh, yeah, so this is pretty much all I had to say about setting the stage for the remaining of the videos in this series. This is all that I had to add about the source code or the project itself. Perhaps I should talk a little bit about the contributors. So yeah, so the development uh, philosophy of the lead developer here is pretty much agile, very agile, in the sense that you see there are no issues right here, and there is only one pull request right now, and there is a project, which is a good thing. I'll share a little bit about the project governance structure right now. So I think this might add value to this video as well. So you will see that right now there are no issues, and it's not only because the lead developers are very responsive, but it is also because they're very I would say strict about prioritizing things. For example, this issue is created by the lead developer himself, but other let's have a look at another issue. Probably no, I think most of these are created by the lead dev himself. Let me open something. I would like to show you something. Yeah, so well, basically and generally speaking, the issues an issue's lifetime on this project would definitely be within 2 weeks. And if there is no resolution within 2 weeks, you can probably assume it's going to be closed because it's not high priority enough. So this is one of the reasons. Sorry, this is one of the reasons why there are not so many uh, issues on the project as of now. But another thing is that uh, the lead developer is a really great engineer, and he has been working in the field for, I guess, 30-35 years. So his design sense is quite advanced. uh, yep. So if you are looking to contribute to the project only by the issues, then probably that's not the right way to start. Other than that, you could go to pull requests. Well, this is a pull request by another lead dev, but this one is stalled right now. There is no movement on this one, unfortunately, as of now. But there are other pull requests. However, most of these pull requests are very minor, uh, and I do have certain beliefs regarding this. Why this is the reason. I'll share that within a few moments. Uh, this now you see this project on GitHub, and you will see some of the issues are there. And however, I will tell you that these issues, or not issues but rather ideas, were added recently. And for a long time, if you wanted to understand what you could possibly contribute to the project, you would directly have to get in touch with the lead dev himself, right? So that's also good and bad, because if you are well, if you're the kind of person who would like to explore things or by yourself, first of all, there is not enough explanation in these project cards as of now. But if you from the very beginning start connecting with the community, I think this would be of really great value to you, because you're going to meet many friendly people. However, rest assured that, like any open source project, the people at the core of this community are, of course, the lead developers. And there are a couple of them. This is a distributed team, so there are a couple of them who contribute a lot of the code. I'm not saying a little bit of the code, but a lot of the code. So Wilker Lucio is the other active lead developer as of now. Uh, the project was started by Sonodet, who is David Nolan, the creator slash lead developer of ClojureScript. And then you will see that there are not so much contributions. There's me, but these people were actually working close together initially, and that's probably one of the reasons why they had so many opportunities to contribute. So yeah, that's one of the points you would have to keep in mind when you are getting started with Pulcro. Uh, yep. So there's nothing more I would like to share on this video. Maybe something else comes to mind later, and I would probably talk about it in other videos. So let's get it wrapped up, and see you next time. See you in the next video. Thank you for watching.